Welcome to Tavern Chat. I'm your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR. Listen, we're using Restream today, so it looks a little bit different. Uh, I'm working on it. It's a work in progress, the whole nine yards. So, bottom of the screen, 10 cards. There's tenkars-tavern.games / Cubicle 7. Deathwatch and Rogue Trader, the RPGs for Warhammer 40k, the setting, are currently what's up at Humble Bundle. It's great setting material. If you're into the fiction, this is stuff you should be picking up just to get background resources. And if you want to run the games, also, it's good stuff. So, what do we have on screen? Well, we have an article from PC Gamer, and I think it's appropriate, not just, they're talking about Elder Scrolls. Okay, fine. It's not just about Elder Scrolls. It's about marketing. So listen, Skyrim lead designer says it will be almost impossible for Elder Scrolls 6 to meet fan expectations. Marketing departments just put their heads in their hands and weep. Bruce Nesmith, who left Bethesda in 2021, knows a thing or two about rising expectations. All right, so Bethesda's big problem in this regard, which is getting a game that meets the expectations of fans, is that it's hard. It's had what one might call a hell of a run with huge open game worlds. Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Skyrim. And Skyrim is still immensely popular, drawing thousands of concurrent players daily on Steam alone, despite being a 13-year-old game. That's spot on amazing. That's kind of like, that's older than D&D 5e. That's not exactly a new revelation, but it's interesting to hear from someone who worked at Bethesda for decades. The fans who want to buy Elder Scrolls 6, their expectation is going to be almost impossible to meet, Nesmith said. And marketing departments just put their heads in their hands and weep. Because it's like, okay, if it isn't perfect, if it isn't a 95 plus on Metacritic, we're a failure. Now, Nesmith's credits go with Bethesda go back to Daggerfall in 1996, Oblivion, Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, Starfield. Elder Scrolls 6 is undoubtedly going to be an amazing game, but it's going to be compared to all the previous games Bethesda made. That in and of itself is part of the problem with D&D 2024 is suffering. All right? Already people are finding ways to break the rules. You don't have to be a rules lawyer to find ways to break rules. They've already found a way to break the rules for, like, I don't know, time stopped healing at 10th level. I I read the article. Maybe I'll do a video on it. But these are things that players are going to find and go, wow, this was better in the 2014 rules. Well, why did you do this? Because 2024 D&D should be that much better than 2014. Those are the expectations. Elder Scrolls 6. That's going to be the next Elder Scrolls game. It's got to be better than its prior. And it says that's a blessing and a curse. Your customer base expects the most from you. Now, you can come in and you can be a relatively unknown company. You could be Kelsey with Shadow Dark, right? Knocked it out of the park. You could be Gavin with OSE, knocked it out of the park. They now, though, any future releases they're going to have are going to be held up to that new standard. But their initial releases that made their names for them, there was nothing to look back on for most people to say, oh. So he makes an interesting comment. Imagine for a moment you work at Larian Studios. And this is a good way to look at it. They just released Baldur's Gate 3, and now they've got to work on another game. What are the expectations going to be on that studio's next project? Larian was not a studio that was uppermost in everybody's mind. didn't fall off the lips of the vast majority of people buying video games. They weren't what everybody considered to be a top tier publisher. Well, guess what? They are now. They're on the map now. And that means expectations are high. Expectations are always high with WotC. We don't normally get anything that meets those expectations. We expect WotC, being the leader, to put out some of the best products. We find in our community, in our corner of the universe, RPGs, it isn't necessarily the bigger companies that put out the best products. It isn't necessarily the amount of resources available that say the product is going to be good. The product is going to be good. We get a lot of small projects, independent creators creating some amazing stuff. We should appreciate that. We should be thrilled by that. But we should also hold WotC up to the expectations that we have. And from what I've been reading, WotC D&D 2024 hasn't been hitting those expectations. Like I said, and listen, there's a video that Clownfish is doing, whatever. I went to the original article. I think it was on Wargamer, and yeah, there's everybody finds broken rules. Okay, I remember back when Unearthed Arcana came out, we were finding broken rules back in the day. That's why Sage Advice was such an important column in Dragon Magazine. But even then, it took months, if not years, for us to find out the fixes for these broken rules. Now with the internet, it's almost immediate. But they have to acknowledge the rules are broken. All right, that's got to be part of the process. So, folks, again, I'm trying Restream. That's going to be one of the experiments. Probably not going to use this for live streams until next week, but I'm going to try to use it for regular recordings for this week, or dabble with Streamlabs. I've got more than one option, but we're trying to wean totally off of StreamYard, as they are an overpriced, under-optioned option. So, folks, on that note, again, link on the bottom of the screen, tenkars-tavern.games /cubicle7 will take you to Humble Bundle. Any purchases you make will certainly help this channel. We greatly appreciate it. As always, be safe, be well, God bless. Roll those dice, roll them well. I'll be back again tomorrow with another video.